Alright, so I literally just woke up, threw on a shirt. I got work in like 2 hours. We are hitting the junkyard. I found 3 Accords that might possibly have a good transmission. We're gonna go check each one of them out and see if it's a good deal. If the trans fluid looks good and everything looks okay, then I'm gonna check how much the junkyard will charge me if they pull the part themselves. Because if they charge me like $100, it might be worth it to just pay them rather than spend the whole day at the junkyard. Now we're like 6 minutes out. I'll record more once we get there. All right, so there's a couple of Accords in the yard. The main one we want to look at is the one we took the bumper and the fender from. There's a guy checking it out right now, so we're gonna go look at the other 2. They have been here a lot longer than that one, but it looked like they were like possibly in an accident or something like that. So I'm hoping the transmission's still good, but we don't really know until we try it out. 99 Accord, as you can see, it was hit here. It looked like they painted this themselves. It was hit here, and the trans is still there, but they took the solenoids. They took both of them, so that's gonna be interesting. Or no, they just took it off. What the hell? All right, so all right, we're just gonna check the dipstick, see if this is good. See, so it's still pink, and it looks like it still has a lot. Yeah, look at this. It actually does not smell bad. That's not a bad choice. And now we're back at the one we actually took the bumper and fender from. Now, this one looked the most promising. Battery tray still here. Solenoids are still here. It looks like they just took the starter, but we could always just swap out our starter. We are gonna check the fluid now just to see where it's at. Let's see. Okay. Still kind of pink. There's no metal. Yeah. Honestly, I think this might be the one. Alright, so we just left, and I ended up just paying for them to remove the transmission. It was only $104, so it would save me probably a day's worth of work and countless hours of pain and struggle. So we ended up paying a total of $443.29, which still leaves us with like $700 and change left in case anything goes wrong. This does also give me a 90-day warranty. God forbid it doesn't work. It's gonna take a couple days for them to pull it, and then we'll probably install it a couple days after. Obviously, we still have to pull the transmission out of ours. All right, what's up, guys? We paid for the transmission Saturday morning. It is now Tuesday. They're still not done. They haven't called me, but it's okay. We have time because we still need to pull the transmission out of this one. Now, I've never pulled a transmission. How did I prepare for this? I didn't watch any YouTube videos. It seems pretty self-explanatory. Remove everything that has to do with transmission that would hold it in and pull it out. I already have an engine hoist, so that makes it kind of easier. And yeah, ignore how chopped I looked. I am prepared to get dirty today. All right, now first thing I want to do is remove the hood. That way I'm not worried about denting it, scratching it, or anything. We are just gonna set this to the side. All right, so come to find out, the transmission actually needs to come down, not up. So change strategies. Maybe this is why we should watch a YouTube video before we start shit, but let's get back to it. Basically, my thought process was that if I loosened everything up top, I would be able to just pull it out. But the way this transmission is and how big the converter is inside the transmission, it doesn't have enough space to move sideways to be able to come out. So from the YouTube video, what they do is basically loosen everything up top. So loosen the transmission bolts, take out the starter, unplug all the harness, and then they essentially lower the subframe on the car. Once you lower the subframe, you should have enough slack on the transmission without the motor mount to be able to move it to the side and drop it down. Now, how smooth will it go? I don't know. We will update you guys once we're closer to that. All right, so this is taking a little bit longer than expected, but I've been trying to watch YouTube videos to make sure I don't disconnect something I don't need to. There's a video where the guy actually took the whole steering rack while taking out the transmission. He's tripping. We're not doing that. I found a different video where the guy removes everything, just the subframe, and then the trans drops. So I unbolted this motor mount. I took the top part of that motor mount out. The last one I'm going to need to take out is this one, which should basically just leave the engine being held up by that one after we take them off, and it should drop. Now, mind you, we paid the junkyard to remove the transmission. We would have had to do all of this over there with no jack stands, and in the hot sun, no tent, okay? That would have been ridiculous. So thank goodness for being able to pay the junkyard. So I was like removing the headlight because these need to be like redone. Bro, that is a nest, gang. So yeah, I sprayed 2 bees with a PB blaster, and now they are dead. All right, so 15 minutes later, converter bolts are out. All that's left is to remove the axles, drop the subframe, and the transmission should come out. This has been a long process, so you guys better like the freaking video because we've been at this for a while now. Woo! Let's go! Now all we have to do is wait for the junkyard to let us know that the trans is done, pick it up, install it, and hopefully they don't take forever. What's up, guys? We are officially back because it's been a while, okay? We had to wait around a week and a half for the junkyard to pull the transmission from the junkyard Accord, and we finally have it back. Now, it should be the exact same thing, everything we did to take it out, but in reverse to put it back in. Now, we are trying to post the Accord up for sale today, so we need to hurry up, get the transmission running right, clean the carpets, swap over the bumper, the fender, clear the headlights, and then we should be good. I don't think it'll take us too long, but we do got to get started because it's 8 in the morning and you never know how long this could take. So let's go. Alright, so quick little update. I just started putting the trans bolts back into the bow housing. That way it gets stuck with the motor. Now, this was quite easy, surprisingly. I put the torque converter, filled it with trans fluid, attached it to the transmission, and then just lifted it up with a regular floor jack. You don't really need a transmission jack. If you had one, it probably would have been a little bit easier, but it was fairly simple to put this on. Now we're just going to start attaching everything back on. All the cooler lines, all the plugs, and putting the axles and the mounts back on. So today has been a mess, okay? We started the day off putting the transmission back in. We obviously filled the converter, put in all the bolts for the converter. While doing that, I was putting the shifter cables back in and it snapped. So we broke the shifter cable. Then I said, okay, whatever, let's continue. That way we could finish everything and then just replace shifter cables last. So I put all the transmission bolts. The transmission mount went in fine. Then I'm putting both axles in. The nut that holds them into the spindle, both what's it called, the threads are fucked. So I need brand new axles because I can't just redo the threads. My dumbass tried to shave it down to see maybe as long as I could get the threads to go in. I didn't, so
We need 2 new axles, the shifter cables, and then I was plugging everything back in, and I forgot to do the front mount for the engine. That also broke. And then I was putting in the passenger side axle, and while doing that, I broke a tie rod. So we need a tie rod, the front motor mount, 2 axles, and shifter cables. Now this is me just being fully transparent. Today has kicked my fucking ass, okay? Yeah, just prepare for the worst when you're doing this. Obviously, we haven't even tried the transmission, so I don't know if it works. I'm praying it does, because after all of this, I am about ready to call it quits on the whole series. And that's that. So I'm gonna check what everything cost on Amazon. I could save money and get it through the junkyard, but I don't want to go to the junkyard in the heat, and just, it's too much work. I'd rather just have it delivered, me put it in, and call it a day. So we'll pick back up another day. Sorry we weren't able to get it done today.